Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for joining me. This morning I was getting all philosophical about the same crap that I usually do, but I was thinking about it more today because we are rapidly approaching 9 million subscribers on YouTube, and that number alone is extraordinary. And the fact that so many people follow me is more of the motivation of why I want to use it for good, why I want to use this community that we've built to make sure that we make an impact on the world around us. And there's a lot of ways that I go about this, and there's a lot of reasons why I go about this, but the charity live streams are one thing that I want to do more of, and I don't do enough of, mostly just because I don't have the time to do it. But there's more components that I want to do, and there's more ways that I feel like we could do good for the world as a whole. And the reasons behind that are numerous, but in case you guys didn't know, my personal philosophy is that I don't have a lot of time on this world. You know, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna die tomorrow, but it means that I could die tomorrow, and it does mean that, you know, eventually at some point down the road, I will die, and what I leave behind is all that will be remembered of me. And that sounds really harsh, and that sounds really, you know, final and everything, but that's my philosophy on life, and that's a big motivator of what I do. I know for a fact that I will not last forever, but what I do and what I leave behind for those who will follow me is the most important thing that I could do in my life. And it's the most important thing that I want to be in my life. It's not just a fact, it's like what I take in for my own personal use. It's how I shape my life and what I do. So when we're getting all these people here in this community, I don't want to force my ideology on you, but I would like to try to guide you as a leader of this community to try to adhere to certain morals that I think are true. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to accept it. I'm not trying to brainwash you about anything, but as a whole, I believe that there's so much more that we could do as a community to better the world. Now, once again, the charity live streams are a thing that is good and is great and is definitely promoting goodwill out there in the community, but there's more that we could do because everyone knows there's a lot of suffering in the world today. There's a lot of things going wrong. There's a lot of people that are oppressing other people, and we as a society together have a responsibility to each and every person on this planet, and each and everything on this planet. We have an obligation to make sure that this world is better than when we left it. We have an obligation to know that the future generations that come after us are going to live happier lives than we did today, more beneficial lives, and then they will carry on that knowledge that we shaped them to the next generation. And that's how society moves forward, and that's how society evolves and grows into something that's bigger and better than what we started with. And it all starts today in what we're doing now. And I'm not saying big, grand, sweeping things just for your entertainment. I'm saying this just as a simple fact. You know, it's a simple statement of what I believe that we should do, because I mean, so long as there's any one person suffering in the world, that's our responsibility. That's our responsibility to make sure that they live a better life, because I personally believe that if everyone gave more than they took, the world would be a better place. And again, that's a bumper sticker quote. It's a bite-sized piece of everything that I believe, and it's a bite-sized piece of the bigger problem, because there's so many other problems. You can't just will something to be better. It's slow progress, and it's encumbered by numerous failures. Like we as people personally encounter so many failures in our life, and we encounter so many obstacles that we need to overcome personally. How can we even think about other people that need our help as well? But you know, it's not a huge endeavor. It's not a huge thing that each and every one of us needs to dedicate our entire lives to do, because we do have our own personal lives to take care of, and we do have our personal circle of people that we need to take care of, our family and our friends. And outside of that, things grow dimmer. And there's this quote that I read recently that I don't know why I hadn't read it before, and I would totally butcher it. Now, I don't even remember who said it in the first place. Someone in the comments can correct me, but it really was really jarring to me, because it really made me think about how the world we live in is the way that it is. And it goes something like, every single person has their own little bubble. a few rings that orbit around them. And in the closest ring, they have their friends and their family, their close ones who will always be a part of them no matter what. And then outside of that, you have the friends that kind of drift in and out of your life. You know, at certain times over the years, they'll be introduced, they'll leave, they'll break bonds, they'll form bonds, people come in and out. And then outside of that ring, there's everyone else in the world. And they're like a blurred gray shadow moving across the world, and they're living their own lives, and whether or not you reach out to them will not affect their life because you are in their third circle. And what was really mind-blowing about it is the realization that you have this entire network of people orbiting around you, and so does everyone else. Every single person in this world has that same network of people and is living their own unique and vivid life, and they have their own struggles and their own joys and their own things that bring them joy and bring them pain and bring them suffering and bring them worry. And it really was jarring to me because I realized that if we all expanded our circle a little bit, we would overlap just a few more people. And some people could take that negatively to mean that we could affect their lives negatively, but I'd like to think that reaching out to other people and trying to help them would only be a positive thing. Not only. I mean, I know certain situations where it wouldn't be totally good, but in all honesty, there is so much more that could be done if every person does a little bit more. And anyway, I'll finish up this thought. I go on these long trains of thoughts, but the main point that I'm trying to get across is that there's so much more that we could do as a huge network of almost 9 million people now. And I know for a fact that there's something more, and I haven't nailed down the exact idea that I want, but I'm putting this out there to you guys to try to kind of shape it and form it, because I go to a lot of conventions and I meet a lot of people, and it's great. I love that. I love meeting you guys, and I love seeing the impact that my videos have on you guys, but I can't help but feel that there's something more that I could do on top of that. And I have this idea that I want is like, I want to go back to Cincinnati, not just to visit my friends and family, but I want to go back to Cincinnati. I'm having a moment here. I want to go back to Cincinnati because I want to have a meetup. But I don't just want to have a meetup where everyone comes and sees me and is like, ooh, yay, Markiplier. I don't want just that to be the reason why I gather everyone in one place, because I feel like if everyone's going to be gathered in one place, there should be a really good reason for it. And the idea that I have that's not fully formed is I want to have a volunteering meetup, a day or a weekend where we get together in one place, say Cincinnati, for example, and we just go out into the city and we volunteer everywhere we can, everywhere that needs a place for people to volunteer. I've like teams of people could go and buy cans of food to donate to food banks. People could go get clothes and donate to them. People could go out and gather. People could clean up the streets. People could clean up parks. Like together, if we get like even 1,000 people in one place, which is an extraordinary amount of people. I've seen several thousand people in one place, and it's an extraordinary amount of people, but I feel like that would be so much better than just having a meetup. It would be a meetup that could literally change the face of an entire city in a weekend. And like, of course, Cincinnati's a big city, but we could like another idea is like if I was to do a tour across the country, I wouldn't want it to just be a tour where I go up on stage and like, look at me, look at how me I am, look at the me that I is. Like we could have a tour where we could go city to city and we could do the same thing. We could volunteer at every city we could go to, and we could go to across the country in each city, big or small, and we could like change the face of that city a day at a time. Just have people, and then even cities that I'm not in, other cities around the country could like use that as an excuse to go out and help the community that they're in, because I want, you know, there's something about charity live stream, there's something about what it does, and it does a lot of good, but there's something else about the inspirational quality of tangible, seeable, like observable change that's going on in a community. And like just going out and trying to help people on an individual level, but on an enormous scale, is something that really appeals to me. And again, this is just an idea. I have not formulated any of this. I just like thought this up this morning as something that I really wanted, but I'm putting it out there, like in the universe. universe. Because if there's someone, or if there's a company, or there's a charity organization or a nonprofit society that does this sort of thing or can help organize this sort of thing, that's what I want to know. I really want to know how to make this idea come true. Because like I've said before, ideas are at the heart of everything that we as humans do. Ideas are the things that shape who we are, and ideas are what shape our society into becoming better and becoming, growing as, instead of being so self-centered society, we are a more open society that's open to helping other people and open to growing as a people. And these ideas that I have, some of them may falter and some of them may not work, but I feel that there's something really here to the point where we have so many people in this community, and we have such a world that we live in where this network of people can grow exponentially, both on the internet and on the streets. Like, we have this thing where we can grow the circle of every person and everyone else that is involved in their lives. And if more people are reaching out to other people for support, and more people give than they take, then the world can be a better place. So anyway, that's enough rambling for me, but these are the things that I want. And I definitely want to do more of these vlogs with you guys. It's not, like I said, it's not a sake of laziness, it's a sake of time. Because I am one person, and I can only do so much good as one person. But as the person who you all look up to, I have an extreme responsibility to guide you in the right direction. So take this idea for what it is. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to be reading the comments extensively here. Let me know what you think of the idea, and how, more importantly, how this idea can be made a reality. Because if we don't act on our ideas and we don't act on the feel-good inspirations, then there was no point in saying it in the first place. I don't want to just be a wordsmith up here that says pretty things, even though I can say stupid things all the time. But I don't want to just be a figurehead that is quotable. I want to actually be on the ground, and I want to actually do something, and I want to actually change the world, because that's what's really important. That's always what's going to be really important. So either way, thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for listening to my ramblings. Take this idea. Please let me know what you think of it and how it can be made into something big. So thank you again, everybody, for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye! Bye! Bye-bye!